Welcome, everyone, to today's live coaching session. I do have some special treats for you guys that I want to share with you today. And one of them is the website builder skill inside of the My Vision Assistant app that allows you guys to create a website based off of any brand, any brain that you have filled out in the My Vision Assistant app. You can generate a prompt and then you can use that in the HighLevel VibeCoder and Claude or any other website builder that you want to use. Here inside of the community, you'll see today's post, and it does have the guide for today, which is right here. And I'm going to definitely go through this guide with you, but not in great detail because this is actually so easy. I just want to dive right into the tool and show you. We're talking about you're not building a website, you're actually pressing one button, and that's legit. And you can find out more about this tool and all of this and how you do it. But instead of go through this with you, like I said, I'm just going to walk you through it. You'll see inside of the Vision Assistant app, you have the ability to create a brand. Now, this brand is basically a business. If you're on the solopreneur plan, you have unlimited brands that you can create. And once you do create that brand, you'll see what we're actually creating here is the brain of that business or brand. Now, this brand here is my Vision Assistant brand that I created for this purpose. And when you do that, you'll see this first option here to train the brain. You need to scan a document that you have. A lot of people use websites or the Google Doc that knows everything about your business. If you don't have a website, you can just answer these three questions here and then click Build My Brand Guide. And then you'll see that it pulls in your customer avatar, their goals and desires, pains and fears, where they actually are, the transformation, the positioning, value propositions, brand identity, and taglines. Now, you'll also see if you go over to brand style, you have your fonts, you have your logos, and your image styles. And we do have some things coming here as well. You have the ability to store your brand voice here. Can actually scan any links. You'll say, I have a YouTube video that I use. You can paste in any content here. You can just continuously add different links and different content, and then you'll be able to just click the plus sign. Sorry, you'll have to paste it first. You'll be able to click that plus sign and then add it to your brand voice, and then you can analyze all of those pieces of content, and then now it knows your brand voice or your client's brand voice. You have your calls to action here. This is an important part of the workflows because when we are choosing our calls to action, we want to make sure that we are consistent with that. And we want to make sure that the My Vision Assistant app knows what your main call to action is. We want to know what your free community call to action is. And then if you have any others, you can store all of that here. That way you or your VA is not having to recreate these every time or think of a good way to word those calls to action. These are the things that we really want to train the brain on so that it knows every specific piece of information. And then it's just going to pull that information from the brain and then use it in the assistant. We also have the knowledge files here or area. If you have any specific information that you want to add here, like never put my website on my images, or every time you create a blog post, I want add this quote at the end, things like that. Now, you don't have to have anything in the knowledge here. What I always recommend is just don't put anything. And then as you start using the tool, if you notice that it's doing something that you want done differently, then you can store that there in the knowledge files. Now, here is the service plans. You really want to build out your value ladder. You'll see we have the free item, the DIY item, the done with you item, and the done for you item. And when you fill all of that out, then it is going to know what your plans are. And when you're building things like websites and different pieces of content, you're not having to explain to it over and over and over again what your offers are, similar to like any AI model. It is just already in there for you. If you ever did change your plan, then you could just come in here and change that. And then all of the information is updated for that particular brand. So this is incredibly helpful when you're doing your own business processes and marketing, but also for your clients. We also have the integrations here. You'll see more is coming, but you can integrate this with HighLevel. And that is what allows you to have the integration in the assistant chat. And when we go into the assistant chat, know that when you connect your high level account, it is connected to each individual sub account. And what that means is you have MCP integration here. If you wanted to find specific contacts, get caught up on messages, new leads, and so on, all of this is created and connected to your high level account. If you want to create an email, you can easily do that. If you want to send a text message, all of those things can be done and send it directly to high level. You can ask it, hey, tell me all of the unanswered communications that I have today, or tell me how many leads I got today. Those are the things that you can ask because it has that integration with high level. Now, I do want to share with you before I get into the website, you do see your dashboard here. We have the live coaching page here. You can access the replays, ask questions, your affiliate links, and so on. We also have the services tab here. We are updating these. We have some really cool services that we're getting ready to roll out that you guys will be real happy with. You have your content history, and you'll see everything below here is for your business. This is for your brand. To switch into another brand, you would just select that here, and then the brain and the assistant is going to be reading everything from that specific brand. But these items here are never going to change. This is for you, the user of My Vision Assistant. You'll see all of the content from all of your brands will be listed here. Now, you also have a support portal. If you need to contact me or you have hired the white label support team, then you can use this option here. You can also use this for your own clients. If you are managing your own client support, you can utilize this ticketing system for your clients, and any communications received in between you and your client is essentially gray labeled. It comes from a website domain, and all the links are vacation.com, not My Vision Assistant. This is really your own support system and the ability to store everything that you need with this specific client. If this was my client here and I wanted to come into the account and I wanted to build a website, I can now just select this skill here and I can tell it what kind of website that I want to build. I'm going to say, I want you to build a website for this business. We'll just keep it really universal. One question before we build, and this is the important part because I teach you guys to use Claude, but I realize that there are some of you who need to use the HighLevel VibeCoder. Maybe you don't have that system set up with Claude yet. Maybe you want to use Lovable. You can choose which of these options that you want. And just to let you know that the HighLevel VibeCoder and Claude, the output is a little bit different based off of what HighLevel VibeCoder specifically needs. Same with Claude. And then if you choose somewhere else or you're not sure, it's going to be more universal. Just want to let you know the differences ahead of time. All right. Now I'm just going to say HighLevel VibeCoder, and it is going to now generate that prompt for me on the back end based off of this business brain. Whether it's a plumber, a real estate agent, a wellness coach, whatever it is, it's going to take that information from the business brain and it's going to generate this prompt. You guys, this is going to save you a lot of time because most of the time you need to gather this information from your client before you can ever build it. It's like, you need their brand colors. You need their customer avatar. You need all of their plans. You need their colors and their fonts and all of those things. And this system does it for you. While we wait for that to be built, I'm going to go into my HighLevel account. I'm going to go on to the AI Studio. I want to show you some tests that I did earlier today. And I want you to notice here with this prompt that all I did was paste this exact prompt that it gave me. Now, of course, I used My Vision Assistant brand when I did this. So you see all of my brand colors, but all I did was paste the prompt. And I wanted to show you the structure of the prompt here so that you understand what is actually being generated. It says your builder. So now it knows that we're using the HighLevel VibeCoder. It also says the one claim, everything proves. The customer's own words, use these unchanged. Visitor's head is the business, who you are writing for, but knows everything about your customer, and the argument here. They sell, meaning the business, the different plans here, the real proof, the voice, the color system, exact hex codes, the type, the copy rules. So these decide whether it's publishable. And then we have the shared frame and home page. We have the homepage sections, this entire prompt, the build requirements, all of that before you call it done, check these certain things. That's all I did. It built this entire page here inside of HighLevel. Now, of course, you can play around with the style. You can be more specific about the things that you want it to do, but you can see it created all of these different pages here, the about section, all of this just based off of the prompt that I gave it. We even have a contact form. It did ask me to connect my CRM to HighLevel, and you can see the different things that it's doing down here. There was also an addition to the prompt because sometimes when you're vibe coding, you don't want to give it all the information. You want to give it a lot to build, and then you want to give additional chunks. And so the prompt gave me an additional chunk that it wanted me to add, this HighLevel site. I chose a different brand. Again, it is giving me all the prompt. You can see we have all the pages here. See the services, the about, the contact. Now, of course, it didn't have as much information here. So I definitely would want to be more thorough filling out the brain because the more information that you have filled out, the more information that it has to generate this actual website. But very, very quickly, I was able to create this. You see, there was no additional prompting. It was just that one prompt, and then here's what it created. So it gave me these instructions here, and then you can see my big long prompt here. You are an elite web designer and direct response conversion copywriter. Build the homepage, and you can see that it's pulling in all of the technical info that it needs to know, and then all of that information that I just showed you in the prompt. You would just take this and literally paste it into the HighLevel VibeCoder area here, and then it will start building your website. Now, you can also do this in Claude. You can do this anywhere that you want to build your website. I didn't want you to be locked into HighLevel. And of course, I know a lot of us are using Claude anyway. So it doesn't matter what you choose. This prompt is going to give you a super fast head start so that hopefully you can do this right before the demo and generate that site and then show them what is possible for you to create for them.